last weekend.
You're gonna enjoy hearing it exactly that.
And there's 2 times in my life where I've experienced the love of God in such a way that I was absolutely incapacitated, lost all sense of being, lost all care about my life. I just lost all perspective of everything. And one of these times was a Sunday. I was returning home from church. I was still living in Minneapolis. And I used to avoid a bunch of lights as I came off the highway. I found I could cut through a rail yard and save myself 5-6 minutes getting home. And so I just kind of, probably not legally, but I just kind of blow through the rail yard and pop out the other side and I'd be home in just a minute or two. And one Sunday afternoon, I was cutting through the rail yard and I noticed a group of Native Americans, probably 8 to 10 of them. They were sitting on a mound of dirt, and this is, even though it's in the city, it's in kind of a remote, or I forget, I can't come up with the word I want to use, but it's kind of a secluded area. And as I was driving by, I noticed they were passing around bottles of Listerine. Because on Sunday, liquor stores are closed in Minnesota. And what a lot of people don't realize is that Listerine and other mouthwashes are 10% alcohol. So if you don't have, liquor stores are closed and you don't have money for booze, and you just, literally that's all you can afford, people will drink mouthwash. And I noticed they were passing these bottles of mouthwash, and they were obviously completely homeless, filthy, just in rags. And I started to stop, I started to brake because I was going to go over and talk to them, and then like this fear hit me. I thought, my God, I'm in a brand new truck, and I was going to a church at the time where like everyone wears suits on Sunday. I'm in this very expensive suit, I'm in a brand new truck, I'm in a remote area, I'm going to step out, they're going to look at me as just this punk white guy, they're going to beat the tar out of me, take my truck, and down the road they go. So I choose not to stop, and I keep going. And as I keep going, I'm feeling guilty about my response. So I say, Lord, God, just let me know how much you love those people. Lord, I know I should stop. I'm just being a coward here. Can you just let me know how much you love those people? In a millisecond, the Lord strikes me with a sense of his love that was so profound that it actually threw me across the seat of my truck. My head was jammed up against the passenger door of my truck, and my seatbelt was off because I had popped it when I thought I was going to stop. Now the vehicle is going like 20, 25 miles an hour. My head's crammed up against the passenger door. I'm pinned to my seat. I mean, I am pinned. I cannot move. I'm aware my vehicle is moving, but I am just plastered to my seat. And the love of God is pouring over me for these homeless Native Americans. And my vehicle kind of like stops itself, and I kind of collect myself and sit up. I was probably in that position for maybe 30 seconds. And I remember sitting up, and waves of this love, not quite as intense, but waves of this love of God for these people poured over me. And it was staggering. It was staggering. So I throw my truck into gear, spin it around, and it's like, take my truck, take my clothes, take my money, I don't care. You are going to hear about the love of God because he is wildly in love with you. And at this point, I would rather die than not share that with you. And so I went back and walked up and got to minister to them. They had kind of a leader, and he was a bit hostile to me at first. But then he kind of stepped aside, and I was able to share with others. And then some of them came forward for prayer. And then I went right from there. I drove home, emptied out my refrigerator, drove back, gave them all the food I had. And then from that point on, and then when I'd go through the yard after that, I'd always look, and sometimes I'd see groups of people. And then I wouldn't go empty my refrigerator. I'd run up to the KFC and get a couple buckets. But in experiencing the Lord's love for these people, I was changed. And it reminded me of the love that we are able to access, not just for our lives, and not just in our divine familial union with him, but access his love for others. And that's really what this is all about today. And so I want to thank everyone for coming out. I want to thank you for giving me a moment or two to share with you. And I just want to say, you know, you have the joy of the Lord and his gratitude for coming out today and being,
Amen.
you know, the hands and the feet of him. So thank you very much.